Hello there guys, welcome back to a new video. We're going to be working on Project KFC today, and I'm going to be showing you a little trick that you can use to fix your car for free. Yes, for free. There are no costs involved. You don't have to take your car to a garage to be able to do this. You can do this yourself using some basic hand tools. Now then, let me explain the issue that I'm having. Well, it's not really an issue. I know exactly what the problem is. It's basically a light on the dash, which I'll show you right now exactly what that is. So if I just put the key in, turn the ignition on, this is the warning light we have. That one right there, which is the safety restraint systems warning light. Now I know exactly why that is on. You'll have the seatbelt light and the safety restraint system light, the airbag light just there. Don't worry about the engine management light or the park and brake light. They will be on when the engine's not started. They'll go off. But yeah, as I said, we have the restraint systems fault shown there on the iDrive as well. So how can we reset them and remove that fault code without, you know, getting our car plugged in or taking it to a mechanic to get it reset? Now obviously, if that is a genuine problem, then of course you're going to have to fix that problem first. Otherwise, you know, no amount of resetting is going to sort out your issue. So I know what the issue is basically because this passenger seat, I have removed it a bunch of times and disconnected the sensor underneath without disconnecting the battery. If you disconnect that sensor without disconnecting the battery, it will trigger this fault code. Obviously I've plugged it all back in, put the seat back in now, and I just need to clear that error. So I'm going to head to the boot, the trunk area, and I'll show you exactly what you can do to get this cleared. So then we'll pop the boot. Obviously it is going to depend on which car you have. If you have a BMW, typically the battery is going to be in the boot. If you have another car, your battery may be in your engine compartment. Basically, you need to gain access to the battery itself. So once you have located the battery on a BMW, it's typically on this side. So I'm just going to remove this trim panel. Let's get this out of the way. And there's this plastic trim panel. Pop this out of the way. And now we have access to the battery itself. Now what we're going to be doing to the battery itself, you may be asking. Are we just going to be disconnecting it, then plugging it back in? No, not exactly. Let me show you what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to get this little support bar out of the way just to make things a little bit easier, and so I can kind of show you exactly what I'll be doing as well. Just two 10mm bolts, whip them out of the way, and then let me show you the trick to reset your car completely for free. So as I said, just going to get this supporting brace bar out of the way. Nice and easy stuff. And then what we want to do is disconnect the battery. So we want to disconnect the negative terminal, just a 10mm nut, and also the positive terminal, which again, just a 10mm nut. And do the negative first. And lift that off of the battery post. And then the positive, this control unit / junction box just kind of clips over the sides of the battery. It should all come up together. Now, essentially, what you want to do once you have both of the battery terminals disconnected is you actually want to touch them together. Now, depending on where they are routed, obviously you could disconnect them and give yourself more length, but I'm actually just going to get a piece of steel just to connect them both together. Now once I've done that, I'll explain exactly why I'm doing this. Okay, so just have a set of pliers. Like I said, you can use anything. If you can get them to touch directly together, then brilliant, but obviously, like I said, it's they're a bit too far apart, and I could just, you know, unconnect. I obviously could just disconnect all this wiring to get them close, but there's really no need to. I'm going to say touch together like that. Now, why am I doing this, or why should you do this? You're probably thinking, it looks rather strange. Basically what it does is just discharge any last bit of power in the car, and once all the power is discharged, your ECU essentially should then be reset. And that's why any fault codes that are displaying should also be reset. So that'll do. I just need to pop the battery terminals back on now. I'll start with the positive, because it's always good to start with the positives, isn't it? Just tighten down that 10mm nut. The negative should have a small spark if you have a good connection. Just tighten down that 10mm nut as well. There we go. Now, if we head in the car, and turn the ignition on, we shouldn't have, yes, so one of the warning lights has gone off. If I put my seatbelt on, will the other one go off? Yes, so seatbelt light has gone off, and it should also now be cleared from the iDrive as well. Yep, just need to set the date and time. Obviously that's a standard procedure whenever you disconnect the battery. But yeah, warning lights have gone. Like I said, that one there is for the parking brake, which I can just take off. That one there, that's engine management light, always shows until you've started the engine. Let me just start up the engine just for the sake of it. So I know people will be wondering. There we go. Both gone. Sorted. Now, if you realise that this free trick doesn't work for you and it doesn't reset your fault codes, then you're probably going to need to get yourself a fault code scanner. Now, this is the Ancel X7, and I'm going to do a little unboxing for you today and go through a few of its features and see exactly what it has to offer. So for starters, this is a very slimline touchscreen scan tool. It's no thicker than an iPad really. Very, very small and compact piece of kit. Also in here we have all of the cables required and some sort of interface here, which I guess goes between the tablet and the car. Could be wrong. I'm going to get all this set up, get it plugged in. We're going to scan this car for any fault codes, and then yeah, like I said, go through some of the features that this Ancel X7 has to offer. So then, should have things set up. So the cable goes from the OBD2 port, it goes to this interface here, which has detected that the power is on. I'll just turn the ignition on to position number 2. And once we have the scan tool loaded up, this is what we're greeted with at the main menu. So first and foremost, we're just going to go to diagnosis. Like I said, we want to check to see which fault codes we have active currently. Obviously these are all the different manufacturers that they cover, but this is a BMW, of course. Good to know that we can diagnose a Bugatti though, should we get one in the future. Let's just do vehicle auto scan. Yep, that all looks correct to me. It's now just scanning all of the modules in the car, 20 modules to be exact. We've got 3 fault codes showing: brake vacuum sensor signal, glow plug cylinder 1 activation. That's interesting. I've already replaced the glow plugs in this car. And Instrument cluster power supply has been switched off. Closed circuit current cut-off relay. That's probably because we just disconnected the battery, I'm guessing. But all the other modules, they look good. So I'm just going to clear these. There we go. No fault codes now showing. So yeah, that is one benefit, of course, to having a scan tool like this. You can see all of the fault codes. You can see all of the modules in your car, and it will give you a brief description of what the fault code actually is. Of course, if you just do the old disconnect the battery, touch the terminals together, you don't actually know what the fault is. You're just essentially wiping it until it potentially comes back. All right, let's see what else this scan tool has to offer then. Let's have a look in the service functions. Let's go powertrain, DDE. Okay, so this is always handy to be able to do in the engine ECU. So you can do things like reset the adaptations. You can do a forced regen with on the DPF. You can bleed the fuel system. So if you are, replacing an injector, or if you're just simply swapping out the fuel filter, you can bleed the fuel system. What this will do is basically activate the in-tank pump. It will send all of the fuel forward, and it will essentially push the air out, and it will save you damaging your high pressure fuel pump. So very, very handy feature to have. Rough running measurement, that is going to tell you if you have a faulty injector, maybe an injector that is providing too much fuel or not enough fuel. If it's sitting between the two measurements, then your injectors are fine. But yeah, very, very handy feature to have. You can reset the correction values of the injectors. So if you install a new injector, you can code the injector to the car. Increase idle speed temporarily. A lot of these scan tools have this feature. I don't know why you'd want to do that, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see what we can do in the CAS. So we can reset the starter lock, and we can do a CAS reset. These are handy features to have if your key gets stuck in the CAS itself, or say if your steering wheel lock remains on, you can reset them. Oh, we can even do all of the body functions as well. So heating and air conditioning functions, voltage supply, radio, head unit, most ring. Very, very in-depth scan tool this is. Let's have a look at the hot functions. Okay, so we can bleed the ABS system. We can reset the oil change interval. We can do some key programming as well. I guess that's just a quick shortcut to do the injector coding. You can code the battery if you have a new battery. Yeah, these are all very, very handy features to have. And if you own a somewhat luxury modern car, maybe something like a BMW, then chances are you're going to want to have a scan tool like this in your toolkit. If you don't, then you're going to have to take your car to someone that does have a scan tool like this, or even worse, take your car to the dealership, and you're going to end up spending thousands just to get your car diagnosed. So yeah, well worth having a piece of kit like this if you are an avid DIYer. Now, if you want to get yourself one of these Ancel X7s in particular, then there will be a link down in the description box below, along with a discount code as well. So feel free to check that out and save yourself a little bit of money. I think these, as standard, they're relatively inexpensive. So yeah, the fact that you can get one of these and save yourself a little bit more money is a win-win. But that's going to be it from me for this video, guys. Hopefully it has been helpful. Hopefully you've learned something as well. And like I said, if you do want to check out that Ancel X7 scan tool, it will be down in that description box below. I want to thank you all for watching. Give this video a like as always. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you have not already done so. And I will see you all in that next one.